Hey there, it is Dusty Thunder again with more Reddit drama for you. This one from Best of Redditor Updates is titled, "My Husband is Saying Another Woman's Name in His Sleep." My husband and I are both in our 30s, married for about 10 years with kids. When my husband is very tired, he talks in his sleep. Not a lot, but a few words. Usually it's about whatever is on his mind. When our boys were young, it was usually about feeding them or giving them a bath. Now it happens less than it did back then, but it still happens about once a week. Usually he says something about work or fishing or his car. So homie's dreaming about his to-do list. That seems like something I would do. Last night, he said another woman's name in his sleep, actually a few times. First, he just said her name and kind of laughed in his sleep. Then he said her name, "Let's go to bed." And then a few minutes later, something about a shower. Oh, doesn't sound so innocent anymore. That's not something. This is a woman that lives near us. Oh, no. Deserves another round of red flags. This is a woman that lives near us. He knows her, but I don't. I work afternoons. My husband gets out of work around 4, and so does she. They're both outside with the kids around the same time. I've never seen them be anything but friendly. I've never seen odd behavior from him, but this has me very paranoid. I don't want to be one of those people who gets mad at their partner for something that happened in their sleep. Am I being ridiculous for bringing this up to him? Also, something that happened in your sleep argument does not hold up for snoring, I found out. Update, thank you everyone. I brought it up to my husband in a joking manner. He immediately got defensive and began saying he couldn't believe I was making an issue out of this. I was pretty taken aback by his immediate defensive reaction. I assured him I wasn't accusing him of anything, just wanted to bring it up since it happened and make a joke out of it since he knew I wasn't actually upset. He continued to call me ridiculous, dramatic, etc. And if he expected me to stop hanging out with her because of this, I was out of my goddamned mind. Then he left. That's so sketch it's overdrawn. You made it into a bigger deal here. And immediately win this award, even if nothing is going on, for how you handled this situation. You brozo. Come on. Relevant comments here. Comment, put your mind at rest and talk to him. I say and do all sorts of crazy stuff in my sleep. I told my partner he was a danger to me and I was calling the police once. LOL. He really isn't a danger to me. People do some weird shit in their sleep, apparently. Apparently, I used to sleepwalk as a kid. Had a sleepover at a buddy's house when I was in elementary school and woke up on the other side of the house, just standing on stairs or some shit. Maybe I was momentarily possessed. Original OP, I'm just a little bit alarmed because he's never spoken about anyone else like this in this way. It's always very straightforward. Things that he's thinking about or are happening in real life. Comment, honey, trust your gut. His reaction is everything you need to know. That anger he directed at you is masking guilt or shame. He's having inappropriate feelings for the neighbor, whether he's acted on them or not, who knows? Okay, we have an update to read. Before we get to that, what do you think so far? You say don't freak out yet? Mel, he's wanting to cheat? He's working out his to-do list, Katie May. It was a little sus, too OP, and then his reaction elevated it to extremely sus. What? And for him, immediately taking it to the, if you're going to stop making me hang out with her because of this, you're out of your goddamn mind. Opie had never even mentioned this. The fact that he brought this up and immediately was protecting his ability to have a physical presence with this woman. Red alert. Red alert. Holy crap. Yeah, there is indeed a problem here. Now, we don't know if the neighbor is reciprocating. We just know what he's feeling right now. And either she is, and that's why he's so protective of it, or he's protecting his fantasy. Either way, his reaction elevated this and at least gave us a clue into how strongly he feels about this. And that's a problem. That's a problem. Update, May 15th, 2022, 2 days later. After my husband's very defensive response after I brought it up in a really lighthearted way, I began to get a little concerned, especially how he said, if you expect me to stop hanging out with her over this, you're out of your goddamn mind. Of course, I would have never asked him to stop talking to her over a dream, but his response really was over the top. So yesterday I took a half day and got home from work at 4:15, the time they're usually hanging out. My kids and my husband were not at home, despite my husband telling me he had gotten them off the bus and his Life 360 was saying that he was home, plus his car was in the garage. I called his phone and it went off in the bedroom, but he's not there. So I walked by the woman's house. She has a pool in her backyard, and from the street, I could hear the two of them clearly in the backyard in the pool talking and laughing. I literally didn't even go into her yard. I just yelled out my husband's name and said, "Where are the kids?" He was silent for so long. He started to say something, but I cut him off, thinking I just told him to shut the up, and told him just to tell me where my kids were. He said they were over at his mother's house. I told him he had until I went to get them and back to get his stuff out of the house. He tried to keep talking. At this point, he had come out to the street, but I honestly didn't want to hear anything he had to say. I told him I wasn't messing around. If he was still here when I came home, I was going to lose it. He got the point. He was gone, but I did let him tell me his side of the story on the phone later that night. He said they were just friends, that he didn't tell me how close they were because he thought I would get upset. A lie. I don't care if he has female friends, not as long as he's respectful of boundaries, which he wasn't. I don't believe anything he said. He lied about where the kids were to innocently hang out with just a friend. Obviously, this is all new, but I have no intentions of reconciling with him. I'll be a co-parent and nothing else. It feels surreal to me how all of this started. I still really can't believe it's happening. Holy shit. Relevant comments. Original OP responding to a downvoted commenter. I don't understand what you're confused about. He lied. He lied about where my children were. He lied about where he was to hang out with her. You have to be a moron to not see that he's cheating. Somebody was defending it. Why would he lie if this was innocent? Comment, I absolutely knew something was up from your first post. I'm so sorry. Do you think they've been having sex? Is he trying to save your marriage? Or no, is she married? What scum? Yes, he is. What, he's trying to save the marriage? Or yes, he's having sex with her? I don't know. Comment, what exactly is his excuse for sending your kids to his mom's house so they could have a date? I can't even imagine. Original OP, one of our sons had just been sick for 2 days before, so he said he didn't think he would be up for swimming. Comment, did you ask his mother for what she was told? Why she was asked to watch the kids? Does she know what her son has been doing? I'm so happy you were taking care of this now. Original OP, he told her he had to work on the house and didn't want them around while he did it. Another lie. What do you know? He's like, he had a cold a couple days ago. I didn't think you'd be up for swimming. You didn't think that they'd be up for watching your self-produced pool corn. Brozo is so dumb. He didn't even think to be quiet. She heard them cackling from the street. Also, don't you all have other neighbors and no one said shit about anything? You see them, hear them, and just assume hey, that's okay. That's okay. But he's so recklessly dumb about this, though. The guy disregards the children to let this fantasy play out. Lies to his wife, burned his entire life to the ground to hang out with her in the pool. He didn't want to tell his wife how close they were because he thought she'd get mad. Well, so you felt guilty in the first place. Also, your excuse being that you felt guilty because you were closer than you let on is not an excuse, my man. That doesn't change anything. That doesn't get you out of trouble. What are you doing? Why? If you don't want to be with someone, don't be with them. Why? Be so cowardly about it. And I'm sure the stories to the neighbor were I'm just still with her for the kids. It's all about the kids. It's just for the family. There's nothing between us anymore. And she's like, oh, me too. Let's get in the pool together. Huh? Oh, okay. I'll send my kids to my mom's.